Do you know there are 10 questions that can trigger desire, confusion, and even obsession in a woman? And no, they're not compliments. They're not cheesy pickup lines. They are weapons. Not flirting. Most men waste words. They try to be charming, polite, agreeable. And they fail because what is expected is never remembered. But a strategist doesn't play in the obvious. He cuts into the subconscious. He asks questions that pierce through her guard and make her own mind betray her. 10 questions, 10 triggers, each one designed not to impress her, but to make her reveal herself. So if you came here for comfort, leave now. But if you came for control, listen carefully. These are not cheap tricks. They are strategic traps. Machiavelli exposed the principle centuries ago. Real power isn't in what you say, but in what you make others reveal. A weak man seeks to be understood. A strong man demands nothing, he makes others expose themselves. That's why these questions work. They bypass her logic and awaken instincts she cannot control. Most men make the fatal error of giving too much. They hand over their attention, their admiration, their validation like beggars throwing coins into a pit. She may smile, she may thank them, but her body feels nothing. Why? Because predictability dulls attraction. Consistency numbs her nerves. Security bores her. You are not here to be her entertainer. You are not here to be her therapist. You are here to be the strategist who controls her emotional frame. Think carefully. A woman does not remember your resume, your status symbols, or the cleverness of your lines. She remembers how her body shifted in your presence. Her pulse quickening, her breath catching, that irrational storm of curiosity and danger she cannot explain. When you master these questions, you stop being another man trying to impress her. You become the one man her mind replays when she is alone. You brand yourself into her nervous system, not with gifts, not with compliments, but with psychological precision. This is the promise. You will not be just a nice guy. You will not be the entertainer. You will become a Machiavellian operator who makes her reveal what she hides from everyone else. And the more she reveals, the deeper your hold becomes. Now here's the format. 10 questions. Each one a key to her subconscious. Each one designed to make her relive a memory, project into a future, or reveal something in real time. That's how desire is forged: memory, imagination, presence. But there's a twist. The power is not in the words alone. The power is in how you deliver them. Your voice becomes the weapon, slower, deeper, with pauses long enough to force her to feel the silence. She will try to fill the gap herself, and in that effort, she binds herself to you. Silence is not absence. Silence is gravity. Machiavelli said it in another form. He who reveals himself fully gives away his power. You will not reveal. You will provoke. You will not explain. You will plant. You will not chase. You will let her chase her own thoughts. And in the end, those thoughts lead back to you. So here is the structure. 10 questions. Each question sharp, surgical, unavoidable. Each one followed by its hidden trigger, the exact psychological lever it pulls inside her. These are not random. They are engineered. Each one climbs deeper, from her past memories to her secret desires, from her surface to her subconscious. The sequence is the ladder. The deeper she climbs, the tighter she binds. Now, let me give you the first. Question number 1, the unforgettable man. Which man was hardest for you to forget? Even if he wasn't good for you? This is not small talk. This is not curiosity. It's a trigger. Why? Because you force her to revive a memory. The brain cannot resist it. Once she recalls that man, the emotions tied to him reawaken, and by the laws of association, they start linking to you. In dating, it works like this. She's sitting across from you, calm, composed, guarded. You drop this question. Her eyes shift. She pauses. She searches for a memory she thought was buried. In that pause, in that hesitation, you already own the frame. In relationships, it works like this. She's with you, but she thinks she knows you. Predictable, safe. You drop this question. She revisits chaos, passion, danger. And suddenly, you are the man pulling her back into the storm. Your move, after she answers, don't comment on the man. Comment on her. Say quietly, interesting. That says a lot about you. Then fall silent. The silence will burn. She will replay it. Machiavelli's law here is simple. The memory of a ruler or of a man lasts not because of logic, but because of fear or desire. You are making yourself unforgettable by. Question number 2, danger. What's the most dangerous thing another person ever awakened in you? This is not conversation. This is a silent bomb, a key to her shadow, a question that forces her into emotional territory no man dares to touch. Why does it work? Because danger is paradox. It is fear wrapped in attraction. Every woman carries within her a memory of the moment someone awakened a fire she could not control. That memory is not logical, it is visceral. By asking, you make her revive it. By sitting in silence, you become associated with it. In dating, picture this. You ask her this question with calm eyes, a slight smile. She exhales. She hesitates. She may laugh nervously. She may whisper, "I'm not sure I should tell you." Perfect. You already won. Because her nervous system has shifted. She feels seen but also exposed. And the man who exposes without judgment becomes the man she cannot forget. In relationships, it's even sharper. You've been together for months. Routine creeps in. She thinks she knows the edges of your presence. Then you ask this. Suddenly, she remembers the chaos of danger. The man who awakens it again is not the one who loses her. He is the one who chains her mind. Your move. When she hesitates, don't push. Say softly, "Sometimes danger is beautiful too." Then stop. The silence will pull her into herself, and her imagination will do the rest. Machiavelli's principle is alive here. Men are moved by two things, fear and gain. You give her both at once. She fears the memory. She gains the thrill of reliving it with you. Question number 3, body language. What signals does your body give when you're attracted, but trying to hide it? This is surgical. You're not asking about her words. You're asking about her body's betrayal. And here's the brilliance. By asking, you make her reveal signs she may be giving you right now. In psychology, this triggers self-awareness. She starts observing herself. Her body betrays her even as she tries to answer. She touches her hair. She shifts in her seat. Her eyes flicker. And without realizing it, she's giving you the answer in real time. In dating, imagine this, you're sitting across the table, the conversation calm. You drop this question. She laughs nervously. She adjusts her posture. She says, "Well, I usually smile more than I should." You look at her, pause and say, "Interesting. You just did that now." Silence. A pause long enough for her heartbeat to notice itself. That moment imprints itself in her nervous system. In relationships, this question becomes a mirror. When things feel too safe, too routine, you ask it. Suddenly, she reveals how she hides her desire. She confesses the little tells she thought no one noticed. And you, by noticing, become the man who sees what others ignore. Your move. Never laugh it off. Never act impressed. Hold eye contact. Smile slightly. Let her feel that you already see what she's trying to hide. Because desire is not in what's confessed. It is in what's exposed against her will. Machiavelli's law. He who reveals himself fully gives away his power. By asking this question, you don't reveal yourself. You make her reveal herself. And the man who sees without asking, controls without touching. These two questions deepen the spiral. First, she revives danger. Then, she betrays herself through body language. You are not just a man in her presence. You become the one who makes her feel things she cannot control. Remember the rule. In her mind, emotion must attach to a source. When you provoke the emotion, she links it to you. That's not charm. That's conditioning. And here lies the Machiavellian twist. People are not obsessed with being loved. They are obsessed with the one who unlocks their hidden sides. She will never say it out loud, but the man who can hold her shadow without flinching becomes unforgettable. Two keys are now in your hand. One awakens her past danger. The other reveals her present body. Together, they set the stage for what comes next. The hidden weakness only one man may discover. Question number 4, secret weakness. What is your most hidden weakness? The one only a special man could discover. This question is not curiosity. It is exclusivity. It reframes you not as one of many, but as the rare man who could enter where others never will. Why does it work? Because weakness is intimacy. Most men ask about hobbies, favorites, daily routines. Forgettable, safe, dead. But you, by asking this, create a crack. And a crack in her defenses is the beginning of obsession. In dating, picture this. The conversation has been flowing easily, and then you drop this question. She pauses. Her lips tighten. She looks away. She may laugh nervously. She may whisper, "I'm not sure I should say this." That hesitation is not rejection. It is tension. Tension is the root of attraction. You smile, lean back, and say, "You don't have to tell me, but now I'm already imagining it." In that instant, her imagination works against her. She begins to project, and the projection binds her to you. In relationships, it's sharper. Comfort dulls desire. You want to reignite it. This question cuts through routine. It forces her to reflect on what she hides even from herself. If she confesses, she validates you as the man she trusts most. If she resists, she still cannot escape the thought, "This man sees my shadow, and I cannot hide it forever." Your move: don't demand her answer. Let the silence do the work. If she opens, analyze not her weakness, but her depth. If she resists, leave her hanging in uncertainty. Either way, you become the one who holds the door to her most fragile layer. Machiavelli's law: power isn't in forcing confessions. It's in making others want to reveal themselves to you. This question plants the seed that you might be the only one capable of holding her truth. Question number 5, attractive danger. What does a man do that makes you feel danger, but want him even more? This is not just a question. It is ignition. It targets the collision point between her instinct for safety and her hunger for chaos. That paradox, fear mixed with desire, is the essence of obsession. Why does it work? Because women are not drawn to safety alone. Safety breeds comfort, but comfort kills attraction. What they crave is selective danger, the edge of risk without full collapse. By asking, you force her to define the very traits that overwhelm her. And once she defines them, you can embody them deliberately, surgically. In dating, here's how it unfolds. You ask. She smirks. She tilts her head. She thinks of the man who walked away, the one who didn't need her, the one who remained mysterious. She describes behaviors that gave her adrenaline. You listen silently. And when she's done, you don't argue, you don't explain. You simply say, "Interesting. That says something about what really pulls you." She laughs nervously, but the anchor is set. You are now associated with the energy she just confessed. In relationships, this becomes even more lethal. You're months, maybe years in. She thinks she knows your pattern. Predictable, stable. Then you drop this. Suddenly she's reminded of the archetype she never admitted she craves, the man she couldn't fully control. You let her describe him, and then you embody fragments of him, subtly, unpredictably. Now, every time she feels the thrill, she ties it to you. Your move: don't copy toxic chaos. Instead, embody selective detachment. If she says she craves the man who doesn't need her, you withdraw at the peak of intensity. If she says she craves unpredictability, you shift the rhythm of your presence. In every version, you turn her own words into the blueprint for her desire. Machiavelli's principle: men are driven by fear and gain. You're giving her both. The fear of losing control. The gain of being desired by the man who chooses to remain dangerous. Now look at the pattern. With question number 4, you forced exclusivity. Only one man can see her secret weakness. With question number 5, you made her admit her attraction to danger. Combined, they place you in the role of both protector and predator. Safety and risk. Presence and withdrawal. This is the paradox she cannot resist. Not the man who gives her comfort, Not the man who overwhelms her with chaos, but the one who moves at the edge between both. And here lies the Machiavellian essence. Never give her what she expects. Give her what her nervous system cannot refuse. Uncertainty mixed with fascination. Two more keys in your hand. One reveals her weakness. The other forces her to confess what destroys her balance. Together, they carve deeper into her psyche than any compliments or gestures ever could. What comes next is escalation. You will not only awaken her shadow, you will give her permission to unleash it. And once she does, she cannot forget the man who allowed it. Question number 6. Secret without consequences. What's the craziest thing you'd do if you knew no one would ever find out? This is not curiosity. It's permission. You are not asking for entertainment. You are opening a forbidden door in her mind. Most men want to hear her best qualities, her polite confessions, her practice stories. You want the opposite, the hidden, the reckless, the unspoken. Why does it work? Because desire lives in the forbidden. Every person carries fantasies they never voice. By asking, you give her psychological permission to imagine breaking her own rules. She may laugh, she may hesitate, she may say, "I probably shouldn't tell you," but in that moment, she has already imagined it. And she ties that freedom to you. In dating, this question cuts through the surface. She expected small talk, safety, predictability. Then you drop this. Suddenly, the frame shifts. She's not with another ordinary man. She's with someone who makes her pulse quicken. Even if she refuses to answer, her body reacts. She's already replaying possibilities in her head. In relationships, it's sharper. Over time, routine kills mystery. But this question resurrects it. You force her to imagine what she's never shared, not even with you. And once she imagines it, you become the man who unlocked her wildest mental file. She may not speak it aloud, but she will never erase the association. He is the one who makes me feel free. Your move, don't chase the answer. If she resists, smile and say, "That's enough. I can see it in your eyes." That subtle observation will haunt her later. Now she knows you read her without her words. Machiavelli's law. Power is not in forcing, but in letting others betray themselves. She betrays herself here, not by what she says, but by what she imagines in silence. Question number 7. Signs of falling in love. How do you act when you're starting to fall in love, but don't want to show it? This question is projection. You are not asking about the past. You are forcing her to imagine the present. The trap is elegant. In order to answer, she must visualize herself falling in love. Right there with you. Why does it work? Because it shifts her frame. Instead of guarding herself, she describes her own tells. Nervousness, silence, pulling away while secretly wanting more. These are not abstract, they are her actual behaviors. And by speaking them, she begins to act them. In dating, imagine this. She's leaning back, skeptical, scanning you. You ask. She tilts her head, maybe laughs. She says, "I get quieter," or "I avoid eye contact." You pause, lower your tone, and reply, "Interesting. You're doing that right now." That one sentence turns her body against her logic. She cannot hide. She feels exposed, and she associates the exposure with you. In relationships, the effect is more dangerous. When love feels settled, she thinks she knows her role. But you ask this, and she's thrown back into the uncertainty of beginnings. She remembers the thrill of falling. She relives it, and in reliving it, she ties it again to you. Your move. Don't mock, don't joke, don't over-explain. Let her describe, then quietly mirror it. The silence between her words becomes the tension she cannot resolve. Machiavelli's principle. Men are moved less by reason than by imagination. This question hijacks her imagination, forcing her to visualize you as the cause of her emotional fall. Look at the pattern. With question number 6, you gave her freedom. With question number 7, you tied that freedom to you. First, she imagines breaking rules with you. Then, she imagines falling for you. These are not separate thoughts. They fuse into one frame. You are the man she cannot resist, even when she tries to hide it. 2 more keys in your hand. One creates liberation, the other projection. Together, they bypass her logic and brand you into her subconscious. And here lies the Machiavellian twist. You didn't give her answers. You gave her questions. You didn't feed her clarity. You forced her to feed herself uncertainty. And uncertainty, combined with attraction, becomes obsession. The next escalation is even sharper. You will move from love's projection to her deepest imprints, the marks left on her by men before you. And once she recalls them, she will unconsciously compare them to you. And you will own the comparison. Question number 8. A man's mark. What left the strongest mark on you from a man? This is incision. You are not asking about love stories or happy endings. You are asking about scars. The strongest mark is never polite, never casual. It is unforgettable. By asking, you force her into memory recall. And memory recall is not neutral, it revives emotion in the present. Why does it work? Because the human brain does not separate memory from experience. When she recalls the man who left the deepest impression, her body relives it. The surge of adrenaline, the ache of loss, the fire of desire, all come alive again. And you, sitting before her, become fused with the emotion. In dating, here's how it strikes. You ask. She exhales, leans back, eyes drifting away. She says, I think it was the way he left without explanation. Or, he made me feel like no one else existed. Whatever she says, you don't analyze him, you analyze her. You respond, interesting. That tells me what your soul remembers. Silence. The silence makes her mind work, and her mind ties it to you. In relationships, this question reopens her history. She may speak of betrayal. She may speak of passion. She may speak of control. You don't argue with the past, you frame it. You say, that explains the way you hold yourself now. Suddenly, you've taken authority over her narrative. She remembers the past, but you control the meaning. Your move, never mock, never minimize. Let her speak, then brand the memory by reflecting it back onto her identity. The man who can interpret her scars becomes the man who rewrites her story. Machiavelli's law, he who controls the narrative, controls the power. By asking this, you enter her memory and claim authority over it. Question number 9. Unexplained attraction. Have you ever felt drawn to someone, and you didn't know why? This is dissonance. It forces her to recall the irrational. The moment desire made no sense, yet consumed her. Logic fails here. Instinct rules. And instinct, once awakened, does not die quietly. Why does it work? Because attraction is not rational. She knows it, you know it. But when you make her admit it, you pull her into contradiction. The contradiction is the hook. The brain hates unresolved tension. It seeks explanation. And in seeking, it attaches to the nearest cause. That cause is you. In dating, imagine this. She answers, yes, but I can't explain it. You pause, then say quietly, maybe explanation kills the magic. Now her body takes over. She laughs nervously. She shifts her posture. The silence stretches. In that silence, her imagination begins to write the script. And the role of the irrational attraction is now yours. In relationships, it goes deeper. You're already close. You already share routine. But this question breaks the pattern. She recalls the man who pulled her without reason. She admits she couldn't control it. And now she projects it onto you. The more she resists, the more she feels it. Your move. When she admits attraction without reason, don't demand logic. Instead, brand yourself as the unexplainable. Say, some things aren't meant to be explained. They're meant to be lived. Then fall silent. The silence seals the association. Machiavelli's principle. People are more committed to what confuses them than to what they understand. By embodying the unexplainable, you transform into the paradox her mind cannot resolve. Look at the progression. With question number 8, you made her relive her deepest scars. With question number 9, you forced her to admit the irrational. The past and the present collide. Scars and instinct. Memory and mystery. Now you hold 2 more keys. One makes her relive intensity she thought forgotten. The other makes her project unexplained desire onto you. Together, they collapse her defenses. She cannot rationalize you. She cannot categorize you. She can only feel. And here lies the Machiavellian twist. Desire grows not in clarity, but in contradiction. When she cannot explain you, she cannot dismiss you. When she cannot resolve you, she cannot release you. That is why you never justify, never explain, never clarify. You leave her suspended, and in suspension, obsession grows. The final step is the deepest. You will not only awaken her past and her instincts, you will force her to imagine a future where you already belong. That is the 10th question, the visualization, the closing lock on her subconscious. Question number 10, understanding without words. If someone understood you without any explanation, what place would he have in your life? This is the closing lock. The question is not about her past. It is not about her body. It is not about her fears. It is about her future, and you are planting yourself inside it. Why does it work? Because the human brain cannot resist visualization. When asked to imagine, the subconscious fills the space. By asking this, you force her to picture a man who doesn't need her explanations, who sees her without words, who knows her in silence. And the face that appears in her mind is yours. In dating, this strikes like a whisper. You've asked about danger, about weakness, about desire. Now you end with intimacy. You lean back, calm, silent. You ask. She blinks, exhales, maybe looks away. She says, "He would mean everything." Or, "That's rare. Maybe he'd be the one." You don't react. You let the silence hold her answer. And in that silence, she imagines you in the role she just described. In relationships, this is lethal. Routine dulls passion. Explanations become endless. She feels unseen, unheard. But you ask this. Suddenly she imagines being read without words, being known without effort. And she projects that image onto you. Her mind doesn't separate vision from presence. It ties them together. Your move. After she answers, don't fill the space. Don't smile too widely. Don't affirm too quickly. Simply say, "That tells me everything I need to know." Then stop. The silence is the hook. She will replay it later, alone, connecting your presence to the fantasy she admitted. Machiavelli's principle: control the imagination, and you control the heart. By ending here, you claim her imagination as your ground. The finale, status, and control. Now the ladder is complete. 10 questions, 10 keys, each one piercing deeper into her subconscious. Look carefully at the design. Some forced her into the past. She remembered the unforgettable man, the scars, the irrational attractions. Some forced her into the present. She exposed her body language, her weakness, her hidden signs of falling. Some forced her into the future. She projected freedom, danger, and understanding into your frame. Past, present, future, memory, body, imagination, all tied to you. These questions are not words. They are psychological blades. Each one strips away a layer of her defense. Each one binds her to the image you project. Not because you gave her more, but because you demanded nothing. She revealed herself, and in doing so, she crowned you as the one who sees her. This is how obsession is built. Not through gifts, not through approval, not through endless presence, but through questions that force her to expose what she cannot hide, imagine what she cannot control, and project what she cannot stop desiring. This is the Machiavellian frame. Real power is not in giving, but in pulling out the hidden. You did not beg for her secrets. You made her give them. You did not force her imagination. You let it betray her. You did not fight for her attention. You made her attention fight for you. Now understand what this means for your identity. You are no longer the man chasing approval. You are no longer the entertainer. You are no longer the replaceable option. You are the standard, the mark, the question that haunts her silence. You don't ask for attention, you become gravity. You don't seek validation, you control it. You don't beg for love, you become the presence she fears losing. And here is your next move. Choose one of these questions. Drop it when silence is heavy, when her guard is high, when her eyes are restless. Watch the shift. Watch her body betray her. Watch her imagination run into your frame. Then leave space. Leave silence. Let the echo do the work. Because the most dangerous man is not the one who says more. It is the one who makes her reveal more. And once she has, she cannot forget him. So ask yourself, which question will you use first? Backhand index pointing right, comment the one that struck you hardest. Because this is only the first level. The next stage is even darker.